Once upon a time, in a quiet village at the foot of a great mountain, there lived a man named Elias. Elias was not the strongest or the smartest man in the village, but he had one quality that set him apart: his determination. He believed in the power of consistency, even when life made it difficult. His story is one of struggle, patience, and the quiet strength that comes from showing up every day, no matter how you feel. Elias had a simple dream. He wanted to climb the great mountain that stood behind his village. It was a towering peak, covered in snow for most of the year, and many had tried to reach its summit but failed. Some turned back because of the cold, others because of exhaustion, and some simply lost interest along the way. But Elias was different. He knew that the only way to reach the top was to take one step at a time, every single day, whether he felt like it or not. His journey began on a cold winter morning. The air was sharp, and the path ahead was covered in thick snow. The first day was hard. His legs ached, his hands were numb, and his breath came out in white puffs as he struggled forward. By the time he returned home, he had only climbed a small distance. That night, as he sat by the fire, he felt doubt creeping in. Was this even possible? Would he ever make it to the top? But the next morning, he woke up, put on his boots, and went out again. This time, the climb felt a little easier. He knew where to step, how to pace himself. Still, the mountain was vast, and progress was slow. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Some days, the sun shone brightly, and Elias felt strong. Other days, the wind howled, and he wanted nothing more than to stay in bed. But he went anyway. One afternoon, during a heavy storm, Elias sat inside his small cabin, listening to the rain beat against the roof. He was tired. His muscles were sore from the climb the day before, and the thought of going out into the storm made him sigh. He could skip just one day, couldn't he? The mountain would still be there tomorrow. But then he remembered the words of an old philosopher he had once read. The obstacle is the way. The storm was not something to avoid. It was part of the journey. If he wanted to reach the summit, he had to face every challenge, not just the easy ones. So he stood up, put on his coat, and stepped outside. The rain was cold, the path slippery, but he moved forward, step by step. That day he did not climb far, but it did not matter. What mattered was that he had shown up. Months passed, and Elias's small daily efforts began to add up. He knew every turn of the path, every rock, every patch of ice. He had fallen many times, but he always got back up. The villagers noticed his determination, and some even began to join him on his climbs. They saw that Elias was not special because of talent or luck. He was special because he refused to quit. Then, one clear morning, after years of steady effort, Elias stood at the summit of the great mountain. The view was breathtaking. The entire village lay below him, tiny and peaceful. The sky was a brilliant blue, and the air was crisp and clean. He had done it, not in a single heroic effort, but in hundreds of small, ordinary steps. When he returned to the village, people asked him how he had managed to stay consistent for so long. Elias smiled and said, "I did not think about the top every day. Some days I only thought about the next step. Some days I didn't feel like taking that step at all. But I took it anyway." Consistency is not about motivation. It's about doing the work even when your mind tells you to stop. His words stayed with the villagers long after he was gone. They learned that greatness is not built in a day. It is built in the quiet moments when no one is watching. When you are tired, when you doubt yourself, but you keep going. Because every step, no matter how small, takes you closer to where you want to be. So if you ever find yourself struggling to stay consistent, remember Elias. Remember that the mountain is climbed one step at a time. Some days will be easy, and some will be hard. But the only way to fail is to stop moving. Keep going, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. That is where true strength lies. And like Elias, you will look back one day and realize that all those small, seemingly insignificant efforts have carried you further than you ever imagined. The path to greatness is not reserved for the talented or the lucky. It is reserved for those who refuse to give up. So take that step today. And then take another one tomorrow. The summit is waiting.